so much time and spent a lot of time with me on the phone. I believe it was like 3 different phone calls before the class ever started, and I knew that that was just the place I had to be. There aren't a lot of people that care more than Jeannine does, in my view.
My daughter just loves hanging out with me. She's a better kid. I am a better daughter to my parents. I'm a better friend. And all of that is because of Jeannine. And when I first started, I was sort of scared, and she just gives you this sense of comfort and care. And the minute you're with her, you know you are in a completely safe place, completely, no matter what. No matter where you are, she just accepts you and loves you and takes care of you. And I used to joke with her and tell her that, when I grow up, finally, I want to be you. I want to be you when I grow up. And I feel like I am growing up. I'm 40, and for the first time in my life, I feel like I am me. I am living my authentic self, my real life, where I wanted to be, where I was born to be, making the decisions that I should have always made. And I never would have even known those decisions existed without her.
And Jeannine was very, very helpful to me in terms of being patient and being supportive over the phone, many phone calls and emails, and very accommodating. So she was sort of holding my hand even before I started the class. And it takes courage. You have to have courage. And not everybody is at that place, but I think it's something that is needed in this situation. These things come up for me in glimpses after the fact. I was just recently visiting my parents, and I was at a really good place and having these moments of awareness that I wished I could have hugged Jeannine right at that moment, because it was an awareness of this being a huge cog in the wheel of the development, or the process, I guess, is what I want to say, of going from the most horrible time in my life to where I am now, and knowing that there is life after sort of death, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
So there's a few things actually about Jeannine. Number one, Jeannine is a thinker. And at the same time that she's a thinker, and she gives she gives consideration to issues around relationships. This is something she spends a good deal of her life focused on, is understanding relationships, what makes them work, what makes them fail, best practices to have a good relationship. The other thing is that her delivery is very empathetic, and she has a very calming manner. I think that's very helpful for the people in her seminars.
Anybody can give you content, but it was her warmth, her ability to handle situations that were very tense, very personal, lots of pain, lots of anger, and it was her warmth and her caring that allowed people to really open up and express what they needed to express, to purge that all out. So I really feel very, very grateful to have been a part of Jeannine's course.
Jeannine has a wonderful, caring way about her that's very inviting. She holds a space that you feel very welcomed, and you feel very invited and supported. If I could name 3 words: caring, supportive, and non-judgmental. Very non-judgmental. And going through these kinds of processes, you beat yourself up enough without having the rest of the world beat you up. And to have that container that Jeannine creates, and the way that she is in the world, and the way that she connects, and the way that she's relaxed, you feel it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, Carla.
I became involved with Jeannine back in the late summer of 2009. A friend of mine had recommended me to her, and after my divorce was final, I just didn't seem to be able to get things going the way I thought I should. So I remember going through the effort, finding her website, making the phone call, leaving a message, and each one of these things was a step, I think, in the right direction. I don't know the day, but I can still remember the day that Jeannine called me back to do the little pre-clearing, pre-screening thing to see if her program was right for me. And it was a very, very good day. I can still remember sitting by the lake in my car. I just pulled off to the side of the road and we had a wonderful conversation. I'd never met this woman before. And I knew that this was the right thing to do. I think the process is right for anybody that's gone through divorce. I think as a society we tend to figure that once the paperwork's done and the goods are split up, everybody's fine. And I think that's when the work starts. And if you don't have a support group and people that you can talk openly and honestly with, I couldn't recommend coming to work with Jeannine and getting involved in a class anymore. It's I think, the best thing to get through a divorce.